Our dry forecast continues, and it may not look like Christmas next week, but it is going to feel very mild. Find out how long our above normal streak is going to last. Karen?
Also first at 4, a local mayor charged with bribery. Prosecutors gave us a list of the alleged kickbacks. Detroit Congresswoman Debbie Dingell has more to say today on the president's comments about her late husband, along with a promise, plus an explanation from the White House. Nick.
One of the most important flights ever to leave DTW. This Delta airliner taking Clara, Gabriel, and all of her friends to a very mysterious place.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the mayor of Taylor was just in court after being indicted on multiple charges in an alleged bribery scheme. Prosecutors say Mayor Richard Sollers and 2 others conspired in that scheme. The mayor is accused of awarding city contracts for thousands of dollars in kickbacks, including free renovation work at Sollers' home, new hardwood floors, a new deck, and appliances. The mayor is also accused of wire fraud. Sean Lay was in court and is going to take a closer look at the case as well as what's next. That live report at 5. Breaking on Detroit's east side as police say a 3-day barricaded standoff is over and the gunman is alive. Police tell us they went into the home on Pelkey Street and arrested the gunman without a fight. Chief Craig says the man is suffering from hypothermia, and if he had been in that house much longer, he would have died. Police decided to go in the house after not hearing from the suspect since last night. We'll have an update on that operation tonight at 5. 3 children are hurt after this truck is hit by a train in Monroe Township. It happened this morning in the area of Telegraph and Albin Road. We're told the adult driver is in stable condition while 2 children are in critical and 1 child is in serious condition. It happened near school and right before class started. So far, state troopers aren't saying how or why the crash happened. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell says she wants to put politics aside after President Trump's attack on her late husband. At a rally last night in Battle Creek, the president criticized her for supporting impeachment, saying he gave Congressman John Dingell the A+ treatment for his funeral.
John would be so thrilled. He's looking down, he'd be so thrilled. Thank you so much, sir. I said, that's okay, don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up, I don't know.
Well, this afternoon, several prominent Republicans are calling for Trump to apologize, but Dingell says she doesn't want that.
I'm not looking for an apology. I'm just, he said what he said. And I think there are some things that should be off limits. I have tried to work with his administration on issues that really mattered. And there are things, if I think he's wrong, or if it's going to hurt people, or if it's morally wrong, I'm going to work against.
The White House says the president was, quote, just riffing and venting his frustration over his impeachment when he made that comment. Our Devin Skillian spoke with Congresswoman Dingell this afternoon. New at 5, she'll talk about all the people who have been reaching out to her today. Devin's one-on-one with the Congresswoman at 5 o'clock. Today, we are hearing more from President Trump about being only the 3rd American president to become impeached. He spoke at the White House a short time ago talking about what it felt like to get that news here in Michigan.
It's Michigan, an important state. We brought back tremendous amounts of business, tremendous car companies coming in, everything else. And I'll tell you, I was up there and I was thinking about it. I actually said it. It doesn't feel like impeachment. And you know what? It's a phony deal. And they cheapen the word impeachment. It's an ugly word, but they cheapen the word impeachment. That should never again happen to another president.
All right, let's bring in Kimberly Gill. She's in the newsroom following the last night's dramatic votes. The path forward is not too clear yet.
That's right, Karen. Good afternoon to you. Today, Democrats and Republicans are playing a high-stakes, somewhat game of chicken about when and how a trial in the Senate will move forward. So far, there's no agreement on whether witnesses will be called or what a Senate trial might even look like. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will need to name House managers who will serve as prosecutors in the case. Michigan Congressman Justin Amash has been mentioned as a possibility. He's now an independent after leaving the Republican Party over his differences with the president. Right now, the biggest question is when will Pelosi send the articles of impeachment to the Senate? She says she's not convinced it will be a fair process.
I heard some of what Mitch McConnell said today, and it reminded me that our founders, when they wrote the Constitution, they suspected that there could be a rogue president. I don't think they suspected that we could have a rogue president and a rogue leader in the Senate at the same time.
If the Senate blesses this slapdash impeachment, if we say that from now on this is enough, then we invite an endless parade of impeachable trials.
And both sides are weighing the political implications of how this plays out. The Senate trial definitely won't happen before the new year, but the longer it takes, Karen, the more it pushes into the run-up to the 2020 election. Our coverage continues tonight with more from Washington beginning at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you in the studio. Karen.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, we got a taste of that deep freeze this week, but the thaw is already underway, and we're heading into a warmer direction, which we all appreciate, Ben.
Yeah, we've gotten through the worst of it, Karen, and numbers are only going to tick upwards all the way through the start of Christmas week. So you see the tree out there. Our chances of a white Christmas are pretty much gone, but as you look at those temperatures out there right now, we're just starting to get to 30 degrees. Wind chills remain right around 20. We will see numbers fall again tonight, but it's not going to be quite as cold as what we woke up to this morning. And this is what it looks like for the rest of the evening. Increasing clouds, temperatures mid to upper 20s if you're still out doing some last-minute shopping. We'll talk about how things are going to change. There are some minor changes in that 10-day or 7-day forecast, and we'll look at those in just a few minutes, Karen.
Ben? First of all, we're also tracking some big headlines from around the world this afternoon. Russia's president is making news with his take on the impeachment drama in Washington. Vladimir Putin held his annual news conference today. He called the charges against President Trump, quote, made up, and he believes the Senate is unlikely to remove him from office. The two leaders have often defended the other. President Trump has agreed with Putin instead of U.S. intelligence about election meddling in 2016. Now, let's move to London. Queen Elizabeth has formally opened a new session of Britain's Parliament. In her speech, the Queen laid out the plans of Prime Minister Boris Johnson's new government, including plans to finish a Brexit agreement. Holidays can be a really tough time for families with children who are facing terminal illness, and that's why a group of retired flight attendants and Delta Airlines host a magical trip to the North Pole every year. Local 4's Nick Monticelli hopped aboard a flight that spreads holiday cheer where it's really needed the most.
1, 2.
Happy Saturday, Santa! What are you going to do at the North Pole?
It's a destination we know exists, but have absolutely no idea how to get there.
I'm going to go to an airplane.
The airplane can fly to the North Pole?
I think so.
But for little ones like Brian Basil Jr., the how doesn't matter as long as the big man in red is waiting on the other side.
Because I want to see Santa.
Nearly 70 children fighting potentially terminal illnesses were invited on this very special Silverliners flight. Hundreds of volunteers make it happen.
I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I've already cried.
Doctors found a tumor in Ryan when she was just 17 months old. 20 chemo treatments later, and she's here.
I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun and something that she'll never forget.
Her blood does not make healthy cells.
5-year-old Clara has leukemia, so seeing Santa in crowds of people is out of the question.
She has no immune system, so we can't go out and hang out with our friends and all those things because there's lots of germs everywhere.
Out of the question except for today.
We'll be at the North Pole. We'll see Santa Claus, probably about a 40-minute flight.
Somehow, someway, Delta Airlines was able to get clearance from Santa himself to fly this plane to the North Pole. The only caveat is they can't open the shades. Nobody can know how to get there. That's really not a problem for Gabriel, though. He's not going to know regardless.
All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's our pleasure to welcome you to the North Pole where the
most of them, who wouldn't have opportunity to do something like this. It's a lifetime experience. They're going to remember this forever.
So Christmas is huge. So So we haven't been able to do all the Christmas things, like go and see Santa and go and play and do all the things. So be able to have a spot for us safe where we can enjoy Christmas a little bit more. It's huge.
At the North Pole, Nick Monticelli,
Merry Christmas.
Local 4.
Nick also tells us that Santa, who also happens to work in operations for the airport, raised $26,000 to buy presents, meals, gas cards, and more for the families. Up next, first at 4, it's a Help Me Hank recall alert. We're going to talk about 2 potential dangers for the owners of thousands of pickup trucks and cars. And look at this surveillance video. Food delivery person just doing her job, but police say she did much more and it's illegal. And so young, but so smart. This little girl knew just what to do when her mother had a medical emergency. The 2 steps she took to save mom's life. All these stories right after the break.